Hello, and
Oh,
welcome to Apropos, a conversation between Clojure programmers that you can join in live on YouTube. We're going to discuss a few Clojure news items and share our opinions on them. Then we'll jump into a REPL and code some exercises or do some demos. If you're joining us live, feel free to comment in the chat, and we'll try to address the questions. I will introduce our panel. We have Mike.
Hello.
Mia,
hi.
Ray,
Hello.
and I am Eric. How are you? Welcome. Thank you for joining us. And before we get started, I do want to thank Ray for all the work he does to put this together. Thank you, Ray.
Yeah, thank you
Our
very
humble
much.
servant, yes.
So
Not that much.
it's his brainchild. This is his doing. He brought us all together.
This is true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ray, how many people did you DM on Twitter to put together this cast?
Well, it's not polite to say that you were the 15th person. Actually, I think all of you were the first on the list, so it was very good. There was one more person that I asked who couldn't make it.
Are we that easy? Is that the problem?
Well, I kind of knew you, and I kind of the only one was a bit tricky was me because I think you were kind of umming and ahhing, but I'm glad you came on board. It's been really good.
So we have some topics today. We're going to try to do a quick topic roundup discussion before getting into the REPL. We have quite a challenging REPL session today. So let's get to it. So we had a bomb drop at the Clojure Conch. So amidst all the type hoopla in Rich's keynote talk, it was the keynote, right?
No, it wasn't, I think.
It wasn't just a regular talk. He's been demoted. Well, within his Spike said anti maybe talk, he said that he made a mistake in alpha of spec. And so that's why we're waiting so long. We were trying to figure out before the call how long it's been since spec was announced.
Feels like a couple of years.
Yeah, I think it's been 2.5. Wasn't it 2016, like spring 2016?
And it's not like the whole thing was wrong, I mean, he didn't make. He's not going to trash the whole of spec,
Right?
I think it's obviously agreed that the concept is good, and it was just there is some. It's a bit of fine tuning around certain aspects.
It was specifically about nillable, right?
Yeah.
That nillable.
It's about optionality, actually,
Yeah.
which is why the maybe talk came around, because it's like, where is the key optional, where isn't it? So it's like you have this keys and you have rec and opt, but when is it optional? And that's really was the basis of his talk, I think.
Yeah, what does it mean? Why would you want nillable if you have optional? It's interesting. And so like his new take is that you have a map that just specifies all the possible keys, and then a second thing called a select that tells you what keys you are looking for out of that set. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, essentially. Yeah.
So that you could have different contexts. So you have this thing like a user that has all these fields, and then, well, I just need to know the user ID and the first name. So those are the ones I'm looking for. Which is, it's interesting. It's another wrinkle in the whole idea.
Well, it's something, I mean, to be honest, it's something that we hit at work. So I think it's, it's definitely something which is real. It's not just, and I think it's nice that they did have the humility to admit there was an error and to fix it. So it's annoying that it's taken this long to get a good answer, but I'm not unhappy about it, to be honest,
Right.
From a user perspective, we're going to have to wait a bit longer until he really works out the implementation. But
what I was saying,
it wasn't right. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I agree. Like even today I was working on some code and we have this spec and it's got all these fields, but then you think, well, what about the edit? When you post or you put an edit to it, you can't change all the fields, so you want to leave those out. So now you have this subset of the fields that are the ones that are going to change.
Yeah.
And so we had to make a new spec just for that edit. And there's, if you make a change, you're going to have to change them in both places. And it should be more like a select, saying this is the subset that we're allowing in this endpoint.
So we have our conch correspondent here actually tonight, today. So what was the feeling at the conch after the talk, Mia?
It took a lot of people, a lot of conversation, and a bunch of rewatchings to kind of get what the talk was about.
Yeah.
I think
that's unfortunate.
Yeah, like that it was immediately like I think that a lot of people it didn't feel like it was about spec at all. Which, they never really are, right? It's about the broader decisions behind spec. But the main message that I got out of it wasn't necessarily that there had been a mistake made in spec. Even though that's like probably the most relevant thing to pull from it for people who use Clojure in their daily life.
Right.
And now a bunch of Haskellers are watching it. So
yeah, I mean, I think that's an unfortunate part, that it was a bit bombastic, and it could be easily construed as an anti-type screed, which is unfortunate because it's not. It's anti one particular type, right? And I've actually had conversations with people who are like, oh, but you misunderstand. There's this other type, right? And it's like, but he's not talking about types in general. He's talking about one type, and you gotta judge his statements on that one type. Like you can't say, oh, but we have this other type for this other situation, or is what he's.
Historically, like we all go into the talk expecting it to be Rich telling us why types are bad this week.
That's true. That's why he needs to frame it better. That's what I think is unfortunate about it.
Well, can I just have another comment on that one, because I don't know everything about Haskell, but I think I know enough to know that the maybe monad is pretty central to it.
Right, but I think that so he makes a point in the talk that there are other ways to do it that are in strongly typed languages, such as Kotlin. It has the question mark on the end of a type means it is nullable. And it's a totally different take on the same problem. It's a different solution for the same problem. And he was saying that he prefers that, the question mark, because it lets you add the question mark in certain cases without having to change any existing code.
Yeah, part of the lesson, part of the takeaway I got from it was that Kotlin is right about types.
About that one thing.
About that one thing, definitely. I don't know about the rest of them, but
we know Java's not right about types. We can all agree on that, right?
I mean, Java's just not right.
Oh, God. The harshing party is beginning.
Even the Java people know that. They know that.
Yeah.
Come on. Yeah, so I don't know if the talk really adds to the discussion. The one bright side I see, is a very selfish one. My most popular post ever was the one where I talked about what he said at the last conch, and I just kind of gave my personal experience. So if I ever write a post kind of talking about what he said here, I'm sure it'll be popular as well.
on the coattails.
Yeah.
So
Starting
one
some-
thing I'm
That should
worried
be your
about-
social media strategy. Sorry, Mike.
Just
one
just
thing I'm
dissecting.
kind of worried about is you have all these libraries that are using spec, right? So what are we going to do when we have Alpha 2? Are the libraries going to switch to Alpha 2 in one atomic swap? How are we going to do this? You know,
I guess this is what he was warning us about, like the whole time it's been in alpha. Like this is the thing we were all trying to figure out. Like, why is it alpha? What's the change? And this is the shoe that drops. I don't know. Like, we haven't really talked about it.
Yeah, people say that they'll install Clojure alphas. So, Clojure 1.11 is, they're getting ready to release it. So they come up with an alpha and give it to the community to go and test it with their production code. And people say, oh, they're always production quality. We'll find a bug or two, but it's good enough. And I was just wondering if there shouldn't be another designation for this is alpha on the road to release. Like, we know that this is ready to release, but there might be bugs, so please test it, versus this is not on that road yet, because it's been 2.5 years for spec. And, you don't want to dilute the meaning of that term. I don't know if there's like pre-alpha or if that's what alpha is supposed to be, and maybe Clojure releases should be more like beta.
Yeah, but then there's the thing that effectively everyone's using this thing now anyway, right? No matter what you call it, people are using it in production now.
Well, maybe they wouldn't have used it if it was clearer that it was going to take 2.5 years.
I mean, it does feel like it was a different contract than we really expect, because like we do, even though it is alpha, like we do expect these things to be ready for use, especially if they're what we've got to use. Like people do feel comfortable using their alpha versions.
Yeah. And they do feel comfortable with spec. I guess it is production ready. It's just not the thing that Rich Hickey wants it to be in the end.
Yeah, I think also, I think maybe it's even Stu said caveat emptor to some extent. You have, if you're going to be using alphas, then you have to be aware of it. And as a ripple effect, I think we've had very few of these breaking changes in the community. So we've got this one, but it was well signaled. So I don't think we can be too upset about it, but obviously, it's going to be a headache to some extent for the migration process.
Yeah, Tim says we've got another 2 years to figure it out, probably. So
that's true. I got time.
Well, I replied that we've had 2 years on Brexit, and that hasn't helped. But
it's only getting worse, huh?
It's still chaos. It's just about to get chaotic, Oh man. Anyway, let's not get onto that thing. Yeah.
So shall we move on?
Just a small point actually about that. I think we didn't really mention it, but is that generally, it's been smooth riding, and whenever you get onto an alpha or any of these RCs, then you're going to potentially take a bit of a hit. And I felt that during the development of Reptile, for instance, that I've been on the alphas because I've been wanting to use the prepl, so I've been on the alphas and the RCs, and suddenly I make a change and then everything just breaks when I just upgrade the dependency, and I realize, oh shit, yeah, they've changed the way they do the logging or the exception handling or the data structure's changed. So you can have an uncomfortable ride with Clojure if you really want one, is what I'm saying.
Right.
Do you think everyone ignored spec for like 6 months, and then after that they were like, it's too good, I have to use it?
That might be actually.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah.
You remember that period where you're like, I'm going to avoid it, and then after a while you're like, I can't anymore, I have to use it.
Yeah.
I never started using it. I'll tell you.
Oh wow, really?
Only.
I'm with you, man. It's so good,
Eric.
But I never had the problems that people use it for.
Okay, you don't.
Well, and Tim, this is actually something I've heard from a few people. Tim says current spec is rather bad at specking HTTP, for example. A lot of people are using it for their HTTP APIs. And that is, if this does make spec production ready for HTTP, then that's going to help a lot of people with their use cases.
Yeah, I think whenever you've got some kind of boundary on your system that goes over the wire or goes between two components, then it's a good candidate. Or if you're going to the database or whatever, you know, then that seems to be a good place to insert it. And that's what we use it for. So, you know, obviously your mileage may vary, but, you know, it's pretty good, I think. And I think sometimes you have to get things out in the wild and get the community using it to see what the idioms are going to be, and to see maybe, you know, maybe it isn't perfect for HTTP APIs, or it isn't, you know, some of it is maybe it's because of this deficiency that Rich has identified.
Yeah, we're pretty heavily invested in spec right now, and we actually have like entire specs that deal with the problem of maybe to try to work around this. So it's going to be really interesting when the upgrade comes out, what we end up doing with it.
Yeah, you may be able to
set it on fire.
Yeah, but if that's 2 years from now, then I mean there will be none of California left. It'll all be flooded or on fire. So this won't even matter.
Falling into the sea.
Burn the code along with it. Yeah.
like I don't know why we're talking.
Sacrifice our Clojure code.
Yeah.
The fire god.
2 years from now, we'll be lucky if we're all still alive.
Man, that's generically true for me, I think. Yeah.
Man, wow. How bleak.
Yeah.
Use spec now while you can.
Well, you know me.
Carpe diem, people. Carpe diem.
Exactly.
We've been in climate alpha for too long. There's about to be a breaking change.
Uh-oh. Oh, wow. Is that the new joke? All these changes coming along are just alphas. EU alpha. Oh man. Okay.
All right, let's solve some code problems. Let's do some code.
Let's skip the other topics. This was a good one.
Yeah.
We have a nice exercise today. We're going to make a game of rock, paper, scissors. So we're going to go to the REPL. Reptile.
Can you set it as the main thing, Mike, or does someone else have to do that?
Oh, yeah. There, I said it. Hopefully that will do it.
Doesn't seem to.
It's always like a delay, right?
There we go. I see it.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
We're
yeah,
good.
Yeah,
All right.
Yeah. Is it? Yeah.
So who's going to do this?
What are the rules of this game? Let's see.
Oh, I can't even see it. It's not loading for me.
The reptile?
What is
Yeah.
it?
I see a blank reptile.
Because of the internet.
Secret?
Yep, because of the internet connection. Yeah, I see a blank reptile, so I'll have to follow along on the screen.
All right, so I'm going to read the instructions for this.
Okay.
Each player takes their turn at the same time. I guess you all have played rock, paper, scissors, right? Yeah. You go like this, you count to 3, and then you choose either rock, paper, or scissors. You can't see what I'm doing because the reptile's up, but you choose rock, paper, or scissors, and then rock beats scissors, scissors beat paper, and paper beats rock. So it is a game of outguessing your opponent, and also probably mostly chance. So you don't want to, you reveal them at the same time. So that's why both players take their turn at the same time. And then, yeah, we just got all the rules written down of who wins and who loses in each case. So who's going to start?
So I'm going to make some turns, which is I'm going to do it in the in a fancy way with emojis. So rock, paper, scissors. So I guess you can see what's happening.
That's cool.
Well, apart from Mia.
Ooh. Oh, it's I refreshed. I finally got it. We're good.
Oops, scissors is the wrong one there. Yeah. And I learned this trick actually from Jonathan Wiebel, that if you put the thing there, it all just works nicely. If you put a little symbol in front, then you can.
Wait, you need to quote it?
Little tick at the front of the map.
Oh.
Then because you're using symbols.
Oh, the Unicode symbols. Cool.
Yeah, Unicode symbols. Yeah.
Wow.
Those aren't legitimate symbols. Those are like.
They are legitimate. They're
starting like weird.
No, our language has gone full pictographic.
Okay.
And we just need to keep up.
Wait, but I thought symbols had to start with a letter.
Right. Yeah. That's anyway. If it works, it works.
If it works, it works.
Just go with it. Yeah.
Rock turns. Oh no!
This is not good.
Unicode supported.
This does work. Oh my god, this worked before.
No, and it works in the other line where you have the def.
Yeah.
Try it with strings.
Yeah, make strings.
Or quote each individual one.
Yeah. Because if you make an error in this reptile, it will give you like headache signs. It won't give you. So
what if you put a backslash before it so it's the character? Would that work?
Oh, you mean like in this one? If you put the character like a backslash there?
Yeah.
Let's make it a character. That's a good idea.
That's a double backslash.
Well, you can always what you can do. The other thing you can do is you can put quotes and then you can just insert the emoji inside of the quotes. I think it actually does the
string.
The string there, yeah. So that would be the. Maybe that's what we've got anyway. So let's see if that works. And in theory, if you can say rock turns, then oh god!
It's funny that it prints up there.
Yeah.
There.
This is really weird. I'm gonna get away from the repertoire. I have this thing.
Have we tried single quoting each one?
Oh, hang on. Yeah.
I think you
tried doing a single quote. Yeah.
Let's see if you do.
What if we single quoted the emoji?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I thought the single quote on the map did the business. But maybe I'm wrong.
Oh, mine doesn't even work with that. Okay. Yeah, it's not the code. I think it's the problem with REPL.
Yeah, it's the printer.
Or it's the p-REPL. Yeah.
Yeah, see, this doesn't work.
Yeah. That one does work.
Well there, but not there.
Oh, well, okay. Ah! Okay, well, this show basically is a beta testing for the reptile. So okay, fine. We won't do it that way. Well, we'll do it just with the word rock then in that case. Okay. How about disappointing?
You want to
rock is so we can just have the keyword rock. Okay, rock is the keyword rock.
Right, so we don't need any conversion table.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, you can put it if you want, but.
Oops.
So we're supposed to implement the game basically so that any two of N players.
Yeah. So I think one of the ideas is to have like if you have like a player
Okay.
If you define yourself as a player, let's say Ray, for example,
Mm-hmm.
then I can just say something like rand nth turns.
Okay.
And that will then, whoops, too many arguments to def. Oh yeah, okay. Def Ray, in fact, yeah. Nth not is supported. Why? There's something weird going on there.
Because turns is not a.
Oh, it turns
sequence.
it's rand and oh, good God! Right,
it.
so how do you get rand nth out of a map then?
You can't.
Just out of a set.
Any
Make a set of the
no, it has to be
keys
like an
from
index
turns.
collection. It has to be a vector.
Well, I've got the keys, haven't I, from turns?
Yeah, you gotta.
It's got to support nth, whatever it is. Yeah. Yeah.
That will do it, won't it? Then if I do like Ray, then
No,
wrong
no
number of arguments
parens.
past yeah.
Were you trying to make a function named Ray that returns?
Oh yeah, that's because I want it to be random. I don't want it to be a one-time thing, so it should be a defn, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Def and Ray. Put a little empty argument list. Yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
You can't do it. Oops. Whoa.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Yay.
All right.
I win.
Wow.
Yeah. So then you guys should have one as well.
Okay.
That maybe has a different strategy.
Maybe, yeah. And then we can. I think in the next bit is to have a something which can
A referee that takes
referee. Yeah, that would be good, wouldn't it? Yeah. Oh, you've got a cycle. Wow.
Look at my solution. You're cheating.
Yeah, well, that's actually, I can hide that. We can just hide you. That's the.
Oh wait, I'm defining.
Wait, but Mike, you're going to be very easy to beat.
Sorry, you're not supposed to look at my solution. So our function's supposed to return one of these things, though. I'm returning an infinite sequence of them. So try to beat that.
Yeah, but
might not be a valid move. Nth.
Can you shuffle the map, by the way, or is that got the nth problem as well?
You can shuffle any call. So if a map counts as a call, but
It does.
But maps are maps larger
It'll dump
than
it
9
into a Java
sort of.
array, and then shuffle it, and then back into a seek.
Oh, you don't want that, though, do you? So, in theory, if I put shuffle here, I should get the documentation up now with my little thing. Returns a random permutation of call. It doesn't say anything special about the call.
I think it's a seek.
Let's try it. Let's shuffle turns.
Yeah, come on.
How do I eval this?
So it does actually. How do you be valid? Oh, either press the button or command
So
enter.
you cannot shuffle turns.
Well, it says you can.
No, it says you can't. Clojure.lang persistent array map cannot be cast to Java.u to the collection. You can shuffle keys turns, but you can't shuffle turns.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah.
Really? That is unintuitive. I would have thought. Oh, I like the emoji broken heart.
It's got a broken heart, so there's something good about this thing, you know?
So as a beginner, I'm breaking the computer's heart. That's even worse than the stack dump. It's emotionally traumatizing.
Is it a microaggression, is it?
Yeah. You should put straws down until a camel's back breaks.
Oh, right. Okay.
All right. I have to come up with mine too.
So how are we going to do the referee?
Oh, you want me to do the referee? I'll do the referee.
Kind of hard doing all of these differently.
Free. So this is going to be player 1 and player P1, P2.
But look, you get a spec error as well, Mia.
Cool. What did I do wrong here?
I think you haven't got the vector.
Keys. The shuffle needs to take a vector.
When you're defining a function, def and Mia.
No, I've got
vector,
it. No,
empty
I've
vector.
got it. No, that's the worst part. I've got it. My internet connection just isn't going through. Yeah, like my screen looks totally different from what's on this screen right now. Yeah, so I can't actually.
I mean, you've kind of. I mean, the problem with distributed computing. You're really pushing me on this one. I didn't have to. I didn't think I'd have to do.
We need to start quoting
error correction for.
The problem with distributed computing is that there's computers.
What is it? The Cass theorem?
I give up. I'm not going to be able to.
Oh man!
It's not going to let me.
So if we have a rock beats scissors, that is going to be P1.
Mm-hmm. That's a nice way of doing it, actually. Yeah.
We're just going to define the positive cases.
The wins, then the other one loses. Yeah. Scissors.
If I make a spelling mistake, please let me know.
Yeah, scissors beats papers.
Paper.
Yeah.
P1.
Yeah.
And then what's the last one? Paper.
Paper beats rock.
Beats rock. P1. Otherwise, P2. Yeah. That work? So I made them functions to call, but it could be the move itself. What do you think about that? Instead of having the referee call the function, could be move 1, move 2. And this would be M2. That way it's pure.
Yeah.
So if we call it referee, rock and paper. Oops. P2. Yay.
Yeah.
And let's say scissors and paper. P1. Okay.
So do your players, do they return a turn? Because I think my one does.
Your ray?
No, it doesn't actually. It doesn't. God damn it! Where is
it returns a seek or a collection of turns.
Seek, but I need to fix that. Yeah. And then key turns. Yes.
That's def. That's the def. That original one you did.
Yeah. Maybe I have to rethink this history, actually. It's quite tricky to search through, isn't it?
So then I'm going to code up the game.
So my thing returns a turn.
So take turn. It's going to take 2 player functions.
What about Mike? What do you return, Mike? Yeah, so you can take 2 players then, can't you?
And it's going to do referee. So it's going to print out. So M1 is going to be P1. And then M2 is going to be P2. And it's going to print them out. Player 1 does M1. Player 2, and then print line. Referee M1. Oh. test out, take turn, constantly, fuck, constantly,
Why are you saying constantly, by the way?
This is a test. Always returns rock, always returns scissors.
Okay.
It constantly returns functions.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. So player 1 wins.
So constantly here is standing in for the player. So now we have to work out how to pass in the players.
So I can pass in. So let's see. Take turn. Isn't Ray gonna give me?
Yeah, should. Yeah.
And then is there another one defined?
Mike has one.
Mike has one. Wasn't paying attention. Oh, look, a tie. We didn't count the tie.
Oh, we didn't. Player 2 won by default. That's a cheat, Mike. You're a terrible person.
It's better to be player 2 because you do. Yeah. Okay, I want to referee.
I think I did put in the rules the first entry, but we forgot to do it. Yeah.
So let's see.
Yeah.
If equals M1 M2. See, come on. Then tie.
You said tie. Okay.
What do you say?
I said draw, but yeah.
How do I get the? Is this got pair edit? Oh, it does.
It's par edit. Yeah.
Or no, pair infer.
Par infer it has, yeah.
So tie. What do you say? Draw.
I said draw, but we'll go with the Americans. There's more of you, so you win.
You win. We're numerous. Space table. Does that look good? Now, the biggest problem is that unless we have spec running on this referee, if I pass in some random thing for M2, player 2 wins. Right? So, like, if I give nil, player 2 is going to win.
Player 2's winning all the time
now. An example of that, because like...
Why is Mike winning every time? This is not good. We're not even getting a draw out of him, so...
Well, I think he's taking advantage of this.
No, I'm winning now.
Yeah, try switching Ray Mike and see if Mike continues to win.
Mike is always return. Okay. Just see him.
Try switching Ray Mike.
Well, I'm winning, so I'm not going to do that.
I don't think your function got defined correctly.
Referee?
Yeah, if you looked, that if was like misplaced.
Yeah, like I want to see what happens when we switch the arguments.
Well, the if had like a tie, but then
it didn't go. Let's see. There we go.
I can't see.
No, look, it happened again. What I see, can you see what I see?
I do, yeah.
I see that the paren is correctly placed, but when I okay, now it worked.
Okay, good.
Okay. It worked this time.
So now we should get some ties every now and then.
Yeah.
P2,
or it's always P2.
Can we please switch the arguments just to see what happens?
Okay.
Please.
Okay.
Please do it for me. I can't do it.
For the love of God.
Mine doesn't work. So yeah,
Still
see,
P2 is always winning.
It's a P2 is always winning. So it's going down to the default case for some reason, no matter what.
But what
are y'all returning? What are y'all returning?
Yeah, well, the right thing, I think. So like
let's do some print line debugging.
Oh my God.
Let's see what we're returning.
So this one changes, yeah. I mean, you can see that.
No, yeah. I see what you're doing, guys. You're passing in the function to referee. It's not the function. You should be calling take turn, like Ray. I didn't notice what y'all would see. This is the one that is gonna.
Okay. That's the problem. Okay.
Take turn calls the functions.
Right.
Okay, yeah, so right now it's just always going down to the default case because you're not actually calling them.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Exactly.
We're getting ties, yeah. All right, cool.
We're a bunch of professional Clojure users here.
in an unfamiliar tool. Don't forget that.
Blame the tools. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Blame the tool. Especially while the creator.
Who wrote this thing?
Come on.
That's the back. Remember when we used to use the Rebel read line? It was like, oh my
Yeah.
God, Bruce, and he wasn't
Bruce!
there. So yeah,
What are you
Jesus,
doing?
yeah, this is a nightmare. Yeah.
Okay. Right.
Thank you.
So what are we have some extra stuff.
I can literally blame the internet in this time, though, Mia. So
I blame the internet.
So you
Can I see the source for y'all's code?
No, it's probably private. For my code, it is.
Let's refer the source.
I just want to see what y'all's algorithms are. Is it just random?
A good guess at source for Mike there. I mean, it should be able to do that. I don't know.
Require is misspelled, Mike.
I always misspell that one. At least twice. Okay. Right.
No source.
Oh, because we're not in. Yeah. That was the thing that Antonio and I added to our REPLs was the ability to do source on REPL entered forms. And you're kind of nice, Ray, if you could join the program and record
it's fine. I wasn't aware of the entry costs, but
I'll point you to that little bit of. I'll point you to that patch that does that, and it's like 3 lines.
Cool. Yeah. I'm very happy to do it.
Oh, actually, you're doing it in Clojure, so I don't know.
So, is there an optimal strategy of this? Like, has there? I'm sure there have been like academic papers on rock, paper, scissors, right? Is it like remember the last
pure game of chance, right? Or
I mean, if you use random, is your algorithm.
I guess you could psychoanalyze your opponent and stare them in the eye. And
oh God, there's apparently an entire rock paper scissors strategy subreddit.
Yeah.
Well, I looked at the Wikipedia, and apparently there's a game that people play and take seriously, and there's a whole set of algorithms. But I think it gets more. The thing that's more fun about this is you can extend it, can't you? So we can add like Spock. I think they have
and Lizard.
Spock and Lizard, and then what we could do potentially is have 3 players.
Yeah, that's what we're supposed to do. Is 2 of N. I need 2 of N. So let's. Yeah, we can maybe do more than
2 of N players can play.
I don't know what that means.
Oh.
Well, we've already got 2 of N, haven't we?
Yeah.
So because if Eric makes a player, then that's okay. No, but let's say there's say there's 3 of us, then you have to make the case statement a bit more complicated, because then you either compare all 3 or you say, okay, well, you could compare all 3 and then say the winners of the 2 go through to the next round.
But you could all die, right? You could all kill each other.
That's a tie.
You could all kill each other. That's a tie, yeah.
Oh, that's a tie? Not when you do the same one?
This game also is like the one good example of something that's commutative but not associative. So it depends on who goes first. Like if you have 3 players, it depends on who you evaluate first.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where it's not transitive, right? Rock kills scissors and scissors kills paper, but rock doesn't kill paper. It's not a strict.
In fact, it's the opposite. Paper kills rock. Yeah.
Exactly. There's no strict ordering.
Circular. Yeah.
Yes, circular ordering.
Well.
Okay, so implement the best out of 3.
Okay.
Well, that's a good one. So let's do. So we got the take turn. Why don't we do?
All right.
Best of 3.
Okay.
And it takes a P1 and a P2. So it's gonna do. I mean, I'm just gonna do like this.
Okay.
Winner 1, take turn P1, P2. Oh, but what if you get a tie? You have to keep going, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's not. It's gonna have to be a loop.
Yeah, it's res 1 really. Yeah.
Loop. So it's until there are 3 winners and no ties, right? Or I guess ties don't count. Okay, wins.
Well, actually, ties can count, because if you tie it twice and then someone wins, then that's the best out of 3 is the winner.
That's it? So if there's 2 ties and a win, that person wins?
Out of 3, I would say that's correct.
You don't redo a tie.
This is like when Ray was a kid, he would make up the rules while you were playing.
Yeah.
I played this game with my kids yesterday just to test it out, That's what they were telling me, so
I'm saying if the count is greater than or equal to 3.
Okay.
Then
that's done, right? Then
and let's just return the wins for now.
Okay.
We could declare a winner. Because you could have 3 ties, and then who wins? It's a tie? No, I don't. I think you need to redo ties.
But why can't it be a tie? Why can't best of 3 be a tie?
Because you play this game to win. Like you're doing this to determine a winner for something.
I think when you get
who gets the last cookie,
Okay.
When you get a tie, you just recur. You keep going.
So we're going. That is what I'm gonna play.
Serious rock paper scissors head on here.
That's what all 7-year-olds say. When you get a tie, you recur. Top of the loop and start over.
Let W is going to be take turn P1 P2. Oh, but this doesn't return the thing, so we're going to have to do referee. Referee. I'm going to call P1, call P2. And so there's a case if equals tie W. Oops, W. We're going to. I hate autocomplete. It never should take over it should never change what the keys mean. That's my philosophy. So we're just going to recur without changing anything.
Yes. Right.
Now, if otherwise, we're going to recur conj wins W.
Okay.
We have a base case. At some point, count will be greater than 3. And then it's going to return wins.
Maybe it's undecidable at this point.
That's true. We could tie forever.
Completely could. This is.
Oh, geez. Yeah.
Best of 3. All right, we might want to count ties too and be like, okay, after 20 ties, Mike, Ray. Ooh.
What is it?
So Mike won on that case. So we need to determine that. So I actually, after I typed it, I thought of this other thing. Instead of counting the wins, we should count the 3 cases. So we should count ties, P1s and P2s. And these will be started at 0.
Okay.
0. 0. So if we have a tie, we're going to recur inc ties, P1s and P2s. And if we have, otherwise we're going to do, oh wait, this needs to be a cond or a case. Case of W I P1. Yeah, and this would probably be easier with a map, huh? Okay. The other expression is going to be easier with this. So ties, inc P1s, P2s, and P2. P1s, inc P2s. Yeah, this. I'm sorry, I do not like autocomplete. I think it's a cool feature that you implemented it, but
we should have an option to turn it off. That's all I think.
Yeah,
because I have to hit escape like after every key, especially like while you're editing it, not adding new to the end. You know.
Yeah. I mean, it's the first cut of this thing, so
it's cool. So we're gonna do greater than or equal to 3 plus P1s P2s. Do y'all do that too? You do the greater than or equal to, just in case you like missed a case where you're adding 2 instead of 1.
Greater than or equal to is, I think I remember reading this in Zach Tellman's book, actually, that it's a kind of horrible one to remember. I never quite remember which way the test is, you know?
Yeah, he suggested always using less than.
Yeah.
And pretty much sticking to that, and only that, I think he said.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
But it is odd, isn't it? Like the greater than is really testing against 3, which is weird. It doesn't work a lot. It doesn't read normal, but okay, it's Lisp.
Rewire your brain.
Yeah, but it's even weird for Lisp, you know.
Yeah.
If ties is greater than 10, we're just going to call it a tie.
All right.
Tie. Else will recur. I'm good?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, the story here is that apparently Mike always wins, so
Why is that? No, look. Boom.
Hey.
Ray won. Best 2 out of 3. Ray
Man,
won.
you are killing me though, Mike.
No, now you won 2 in a row. Look at that. Now I haven't printed anything, so we don't know what's actually happening.
Yeah, I
think
think he's cheating.
make it dramatic.
I think he's cheating.
And then Mike pulls ahead. So let's. This box is too small for me. I can't see the bottom. There we go. All right. So I'm just.
You can hide the other editors, by the way, Eric. If you click the other editors, you can hide them.
If I click them.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Click the little icon.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then it doesn't make my box bigger.
It should eventually, if you get rid of all of them.
They're all gone, but it only takes up half of the.
Okay. Yeah. Probably enough. But
and now I have a tooltip from Mike's that is over mine, just to rub it in.
Yeah.
Print line W. There we go. So I'm gonna print.
Okay. Yeah. The winner.
There we go. Let's see. Boom.
Oh, that's nice. Okay. That's right.
I like this one. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, look, a tie.
Yeah, ties are occurring quite frequently, actually.
Yeah, they should.
Yeah. In a random world, yeah.
Is there a way to have it, instead of returning P1 or P2, return the name of the function so that it returns the name of the winner?
Oh, good question. What would you do for this?
Does name work on functions? I don't actually know.
Let's see what happens if we just return the
function, maybe.
The function itself. So P1, P2. I don't think name works on function, but
you could just return the function.
Wait, why didn't it work? Did I not evaluate it? P1, P2. Why isn't it working?
Still seems to be returning the keyword.
I'm hitting eval, and it looks like it evals. I'm going to hit it twice, 3 times. Try that.
It is evaling, but it's not changing. I told you, backspace is not allowed.
That's what it is. Okay. Yeah. On backspace, I will. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, forget it. I think we're out of time anyway. It's 10 o'clock. It's
it is time for me to go get my lunch.
Yeah. This is really good, though. Nice work, Aaron.
A lot of fun, yeah.
Yay.
Awesome. You have some more bugs to fix, Ray.
I wanted to. Yeah. Thank you.
Did you make some notes? I've been entering tickets in Jira for you with descriptive.
He's going to put back it.
Patch is welcome.
It's a REPL that's optimized for perfect code.
Yeah. Thank you. I guess.
Enter your form correctly the first time.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. So if you like the show, please subscribe and hit that little bell, and you should be notified when we go live. Thank you all for being there, and hope to see you next time. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.